Hello everyone and welcome to some more Switcheroom. I've actually got up to 5 levels lined up that I'm hoping I may be able to get through. But let's just get started and see if I can. This of course is an Ultimate Doom Mega Wide where each level of the original game appears but with a different theme, and sometimes as a mashup between two of the original levels, as I've explained in prior videos. And yeah, that's a nice title screen to introduce the concept, by the way. And I guess as a bonus, I'm gonna start with the level that began it all, which is Death Eggs. What if E1M1 was E3M1? Except it's been named the baleful fluids. So in other words, what if E1M1 had been a hell map? This should be like so short I barely even count it as a 6th map of the video, even though the monsters are a bit more difficult than the ones in Hango. There it is. Death Eggs map that started it all. Now I'm not going to play episode 3 map 2 next, which you can probably already tell is gonna be a mashup, but I'm going to play episode 3 map 5, Temple of Demons, which is by Shades Master, because he's actually a friend of mine, so I wanted to make sure I play his level. This is episode 1 map 5 as a hellish level. It's actually the second of 4 consecutive levels in episode 3 that are hellish versions of episode 1 maps. So let's see what Shadesman came into the house with for the first Switcheroom here. And by the way, if you see his YouTube channel, you might recognize that that's a slight tribute as well. Oh, definitely we're in hell and not amphibious. Even though the iconic crossing of the damaging floor was maintained at the start. It's also definitely not a lab. Okay, that I guess I could sort of call a little bit of an unholy cathedral nod. Just the lava floor with the green brick, but it could be incidental. Interesting that in the original episode, well, this room in the original episode 1 map 5, you had to walk onto a lower platform to get the platform on the far side to raise. It looks like Shades redid the design some. I also don't see any connection to where the yellow door in episode 1 map 5 was, which is down here. I'm guessing it's probably the teleporter that takes me there. Yup, instead of going through the door, I take the teleporter will take me to where the yellow key door was, and just like should be for a hell map, it's a yellow skull instead of a yellow key card. Also, that's not where the yellow key was in the original episode 1 map 5, so Shades definitely took some freedom here, but it's still definitely looking more like a hellified episode 1 map than an homage to any episode 3 map. And it's still recognizably episode 1 map 5 if you look at the auto map. Yep, there were no Keiko demons on Phobos. There was no Fire Blue on Phobos. In fact, most of these textures did not exist on Phobos. Okay, we don't get to raise a bridge here, so I'm guessing it looks like a mandatory damage area. So I'm gonna run off as quickly as I can into the side zone. And, oh, well, this is where the yellow key was originally, right where the green ammo is. Nope, no plasma gun for me yet. I don't know what part of, I guess it's the plasma gun. The rocket launcher secret is sort of a some kind of plasma gun secret. But getting that ammo will take me to the yellow key, even though the yellow key was actually there in the original episode 1 map 5. Will also take me to another curious teleport, it seems. I am blind to this level, by the way. Okay, that I think will probably... It's not a secret, but that did make the plasma gun accessible. So, glad they did that. Okay, this is what Robert Douglas called the spooky corridor in episode 1 map 5. In the original, I'd have to go past the yellow door already to get access to it. And this is already the ending area of episode 1 map 5. Still doubt, just like it was before. Yes, the Keiko demon can infight the Baron, please. Where's my light amp, Zyzo? Did you take it away from me, Shades? I'm gonna guess the exit doors might be in this room, but it's probably going to be locked. Nope, it's not locked, it's blocked. I was off where I was missing a B. Oh, but it sort of is locked because I need the blue key to unblock it. Now, did id Software ever do switches that were activated by a key in the first 3 episodes of Ultimate Doom? I can't recall. I thought in the first 3 episodes the keys were always used to operate doors, not switches. But I'm not sure. I just seem to think the message, you need a such and such key to activate this object, wasn't introduced until episode 4, but I'm not sure about that. I could be completely wrong. And if I am wrong, I would be glad to be corrected. So it's time to go Well, I say don't use a rocket launcher by the Yellow Door in episode 1, map 5. I don't even have a rocket launcher here. Oh, what happened to the lift? No lift, just straight into the next area. Stairs, and it's all stairs instead. And there's the blue key where the switch was in episode 1, map 5, the original. Of course, it does not look inviting to just run across the lava to get the blue key like I could run across the slime to tag that switch. Okay, so what am I supposed to do here? Oh, I see. There's a little bit, no. Oh, thanks, Chase, for giving me a step out of there so I didn't die. I know Steve's gonna say, nope, I should have pelted with that. Hey, this is just a little hellish-sided entity. I think this is pretty much exactly the interpretation that was intended for Switcheroom, is just remake it into a generic map in that style. You can do some things with the layout and the progression, but it should be clearly recognizable both in the game and on the auto map, which it is. Okay. Well, I guess we do manage to, albeit in a completely different way, get the Upo charge Robert Douglas meme after visiting that area. And also only one man still remaining. Not that tough of a level, and I didn't suffer any pelts, but I would say Shades adhered to the project goal. So on that front, it's a success. And also enough cells that the bigger monsters didn't become troll-like. I often play the original Ultimate Doom levels without dying if I play them carefully, so I don't consider peltless to be a failure of any kind. They got 100 of everything. Well, there are no secrets. He might not have tagged anything as a secret, I'm not sure. Well, that was definitely just a generic hellish interpretation of episode 1 map 5 by Shades, and as I noted, it's the second of 4 consecutive episode 1 maps that were redesigned in the hellish style, so it follows that the next map is a hellish episode 1 map 6. However, in this case, it is clear right from the very beginning You could say before the level even starts, if you look at the top center of your screen, that this is not merely just a generically hellish version of episode 1 map 6. This is to its core a Mount Erebus homage using episode 1 map 6's shell for its areas, and they just typed E1M6 by accident, IDCL EV16 instead of IDCL EV36. But we've got the starting room of central processing. If we weren't central processing, the start kind of looks like this in terms of the angle. This level's by Gothic, I believe. Who I think is still in the community potentially. He made the level for Akeldama at least. Of course, Shade's Master's still in the community as well as being in the Quake community. Yup, our hellish lost souls. I mean, if you didn't know this was Switcheroom, you'd probably just think this level was an homage to Mount Erebus and not even think about central processing. Well, of course, it could probably use a name other than Mount Processing in order to not make you think about E1M6. But just like in E1M6, we'll go to the right first. And we get one of the textures that was clearly used for building in E3M6. And lower difficulties, you'd have a blue score key right here. And yup, it's gonna 30-second lock in us, so that's very E1M6. Also, it's a red key this time. Which is interesting because I don't think I thought it was a blue key in both E1M6 and E3M6, but I can't be 100% sure about E3M6. That rocket can go to one of the barons, but I can escape without fighting them all. And yes, there was obviously a building in Mount Erebus, and they believe it was an island that you had to go over the lava to get. That was just like here, that was in this texture. But just like in E1M6, we've got the locked doors. Two of them, and that both lead to the same area probably, and the opposite side has the key. Those monsters almost seem like episode 1 though. All hit scan those. No meat. Oh, but that's episode 3. Or well, at least not episode 1. Also, looks like to get the blue skull here, we have to go to the inside instead of in episode 1 map 6 we would head towards the outside. Oh, but the outside opens up as a trap. Don't want to get stuck by all those pinkies on that barrel of hell. Can probably leave the rest of them be. Oh, well, here's probably a water area because it's E3M6. Oh, that's 20% damage lava, all of it. Which I guess is a perfect damage to E3M6 because E3M6 definitely did have 20 damage lava. And there's your chainsaw that we can't get from the water. Can I tag a switch here? I don't think so, not with it as a perfect square like that. Ooh! Teleporting to somewhere I had not already cleared out. I had to retreat quickly. Where I got to go for with the next key in hand anyways. The key order's been all switched up, it seems. I'm tired of seeing the fireballs come that way. Another fire blue building. That needs a yellow key, which we don't have. Which makes sense because in episode 1 map 6, in order to get towards the northern point, you needed to have all 3 keys. Okay, so this is probably an optional building. If it's anything like episode 3 map 6. Can't even open the door yet though. I guess I've got to go. Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna guess that blood. Because proximity wise, if I was playing episode 1 map 6, I'd have started here in episode 1 map 6, gone to the right to get a key, which I did, gone to the left to get another key, which I did, and then proceeded further north and gone to the right to get the last of the 3 keys. So on that aspect, it's faithful to episode 1 map 6 in progression. This looks like the exit area of Mount Erebus though, the normal exit area. Yep, I need a rat suit and needs a blue key to enter. Here's a maze that in episode 1 map 6 had the little crisscross bridges. I didn't need to do this area in my episode 1 speed run because you can use a secret to get around it. But definitely in homage territory, this is an homage to the normal exit area of Mount Erebus, right down to how the lava transitions to blood. What's that? Uh-oh! I better grab my next rat suit. Yeah, the blood is 10%, but I still don't want to be taking 10% damage frequently. Yep, there's a switch. Go through a maze to find the switch, just like you do in central processing if you didn't take the shortcut I took in my speed run. The teleporter? Well, that's certainly not central processing. Ooh, teleport into a room of hit scans, too. Wait, I have a yellow key. I didn't even notice where I picked up the yellow key. Also, gonna fire from a distance here at those two cherry tomatoes. And be a little more careful as they're returning fire to me. Nope, can't take that teleporter back. I can, however, grab my chainsaw here, I believe. Yep. And now I have to take the teleporter to get out of the water. I'll take care of those from the outside where I've got more room. Now, like episode 1 map 6, we keep going north with all 3 keys in hand, it looks like. I guess the 2 maps fit as a mishmash even better though because they share the same music. Now this I don't recognize as something from episode 1 map 6 or episode 3 map 6. Well, I mean the texturing is certainly episode 3 map 6 had a lot of fire blue in it. Oh, yup. Oh, okay, so that building's gonna be episode 1 map 6's ending area. Put it on the east side instead of the west side, but it's still recognizably gonna be episode 1 map 6's ending area. With texture resembling an optional building from episode 3 map 6. Yup, let's get ready for all hell to break loose. Now if I was smart, I'd just wait out the 30-second lock-in, but let's just keep playing. And it is indeed just a 30-second lock-in, and that's the exit. So pretty much we got all the progression of episode 1 map 6 down into an episode 3 image, and into an episode 3 map 6 image. On the other hand, talking about it being recognizably still the original map and level on the auto map, this is anything but recognizably central processing on the auto map. I mean, you really kind of have to think for a moment to make out the areas. Still, I call it good as a mishmash, and even though it didn't manage to pelt me, it was how does an episode 3 map 5? And yes, this was by Ryath. Okay, I did want to do episode 1 map 4. Slad Wall Inc. This is from episode 4 map 4 because it's from another friend of mine who was named Saliva at the time, now is named Soj Jakin. And episode 4 map 4 is like, especially as a map 4, it almost belongs in episode 1 to begin with. So it ought to feel more at home than the original map does. There's a secret though, yup. Just like in episode 4 map 4. Yep, grab the... Get back on the lift before it raises. Now, where's the hit scan those while I'm close? Good. I could argue this actually works better as an episode 1 style map than it does as episode 4 map 4. Like episode 4 map 4 in its position in the original game, especially being a map 4. Whoa, nice jibs all across the slime pit. He landed all the way on the other side of the pit. Episode 4 map 4 almost seems like what would be like it was a 2-hour speed map or something made just to fill out the required 9 levels. Yep, get out trap. This all seems to feel a lot more fitting in episode 1. We'll clear out the optional area. So I'd say so far you've done a pretty good job in reinterpreting what you were given into an episode 1 style map, and definitely still recognizably episode 4 map 4 on the auto map. AKA Unruly Evil. Although it's far from that unruly or that evil, especially given in episode 4 how difficult the scout maps are in comparison. Like, if it was an episode 4 map, it should have at least been moved to episode 4 map 1 in my opinion. I mean, I don't think this level's gonna kill me, but it is appropriate for an episode 1 map. I just feel like this level is more at home in Switcheroom than it was in the original game. It kind of works as an episode 1 level. Oh, but Saliva, weren't you supposed to visit the 2 sides? What did you do to that? Well, I guess maybe the double teleport wouldn't be seen good as in episode 1, so the only thing was to remove it. still something I call a pretty good reinterpretation. And now I would like to cover the very first level of Switcheroom, Episode 1, Map 1, Phobos Spaceport, and this is by Travels D, based on Saliva or Soge enjoys the video of the last level, if he watches. This is Episode 3, Map 1 as Episode 1, Map 1. You should have, I guess not to be an damage, Travels didn't make that a damaging pit. I guess in today's video I'm mostly doing maps that aren't an damage, so you could call this area an damage to Episode 1, Map 1. Except wait, doesn't that walkway lower on both Episode 1 Map 1 and Episode 3 Map 1? So regardless of what you're trying to reference, it should be a lowering walkway. Yep, tag's a secret just like in Hellkeep. Oh, it's actually, I think it's the way you know, because there's a door here, I'm not sure it's the way you have to go. There's the E1M1 blue ammo, but I wouldn't exactly call that an damage. At least in the aesthetic sense. Travels D also did E4M1 reinterpreted as E2M1, which I showed in my last video that had Switcheroom content. Nope, can't go that way. Got to use the lift. I almost called that a little complex for Episode 1. I don't think Romero ever made a stair that looks that close to something you can climb but isn't something you can climb. It's minor though, it's still Episode 1 style aesthetics all the way. Maybe with a little bit more detail. Oh, and you just had to end it with a blatant Episode 1 Map 1 damage, didn't you? Still, I think I can clearly make out on the auto map that it's Hellkeep, for instance, renamed as Phobos Spaceport. For instance, this stair area is the area where you chainsaw the demons in Hellkeep. And then north from there is the exit. And now, of course, if I'm going to play a reinterpretation of Hellkeep, I kind of have to play a reinterpretation of Warrens in the same video, don't I? Interestingly, Warrens was reinterpreted not as Episode 1 Map 9, but as Episode 2 Map 9, Deimos Spaceport, haha. Also by Travels D. And it starts, no surprise, as Bowing the Sky and probably an exact copy of Phobos Spaceport. This will be the last level for the video. And that begs the one thing about Warrens that I remember thinking when this project was in development is, first of all, should Warrens and Hellkeep even be allowed to be reinterpreted in different episodes? Because like Warrens is so much just as much a concept as it is a level, but Doomworld obviously collectively decided yes to that question, given that it is reinterpreted in a different episode. I didn't do this little bit in E1M1. I don't really need to comment about the level because you know exactly what it's gonna be for a little while. I mean, I'm not gonna act like there's really a surprise here still after all these geos. So, having said yes to the question that it can be that Warrens can be reinterpreted in a different episode than Hellkeep is, the question that begs would be, should it use whatever map Hellkeep was reinterpreted as a base, which of course it does, or should it use whatever map 1 of that episode is as a base? In other words, I could have made the argument that it could have not used this level as a base at all, but instead used episode 2 map 1 as a base because it's episode 2 map 9, but obviously Doomworld did decide to keep it using, no pun intended, Hellkeep's reinterpretation as a base. And that raises a third complexity. Because Hellkeep was remade in a different episode than Warrens it was remade in, how do you handle the theme? Well, that's where this level gets cool. You see right now, despite being in episode 2, this is still as episode 1 style as episode 1 map 1 was. I mean, it is episode 1 map 1 as after all over again. But still remember that we are not in episode 1. And that's about to matter. Because guess what happens when you reinterpret them in 2 different episodes? The original map was episode 1 style, but the new areas are episode 2 style. Right from having Barons of Hell as regular enemies. And Vines. So the formerly episode 1 style base level turns into an episode 2 style Warrens, which I think that turned out to be quite a nice idea. And can't use a Cyber Demon yet in episode 2 map 9, so used a bunch of Barons instead is fine. Let's mow down the whole crowd. Sorry, Steve, this is probably gonna be a peltless video. Hope you still enjoyed it. There was 1 or 2 close calls, maybe. But yes, I actually like the decisions they made with how to handle Warrens, is to have Warrens be reinterpreted in a different episode than Hellkeep, and to have the Warrens areas be in the style of that different episode. So you actually have a combination of 2 different styles for your Deimos spaceport, as it's so called. It's almost like there were simultaneously two questions. Oh, stairways collapsed. And here's a demon area from episode 3, map 9. I did pick up a bazooka so I can punch them out. It's almost like simultaneously answering two different questions. What if episode 3 map 9 was episode 2 map 9? And what if its base level was not in the same episode? What would it look like? Oh, those are rats. Okay. As I said, it's almost like it toned it into a compound question. What if Warren's was an episode 2 map and Hellkeep was not an episode 2 map, but it was still based on Hellkeep? Uh-oh. Look, so many of those Keikos. And I think this pretty well answers that question. You get what starts off as a very episode 1 style level becomes much more an episode 2 style level as it opens up. Whoa, but you have given a BFG there? I thought there was no BFG until episode 3 in Ultimate Doom. Well, what to say, it's not perfect. I still like the idea of toning an episode 1 style map into an episode 2 style map. Oh, yep, unmarked red door is the exit. Yup, and there's an invisible teleport. Hey, you're not watching, are you? Whoa! What also, didn't I have an invulnerability in episode 3 map 9? I guess I get the Upo charge here instead. So I've got so many hit scanners here. But alas, I'm not gonna suffer pelt thanks to that Upo charge. Being well under 100 health, I say I would have suffered one if it wasn't thanks to that. That's still less though than you have in Warns where you have a full-on invulnerability field. Not entirely unreasonable that I don't suffer pelt in this video because I was trying to play cautiously, not speedrunny, and I think I could easily survive Ultimate Doom, especially the first 3 episodes if I played it cautiously. So yeah, that's gonna be all for this video. I think I did a 6-fold. So if you enjoyed this video or my videos in general, please feel free and welcome to comment. I always appreciate them very much. And feel free to make requests, I do take them. There should be a link to other playlists in the description and also sub-link in the video in description. This is Capcom1, almost exactly the target length of video I was going for, signing off here.